Hey, so I decided to make a video today to give y'all a little bit behind the scene on why I started my business. Okay, why I started my business is the first thing I wanted to talk about. Okay, I started crafting back probably like 2013, 2014, around when I was pregnant with my daughter, and as soon as I had her. So what I did was, when I first started off, like just doing a little bit of stuff here and there, which was bows. I was like, she has to have bows. Like, what little girl doesn't own a bow? And I didn't want to be paying an arm and a leg on a bow, or having anybody else pay an arm and a leg on a bow. So I went online and I ordered a couple of bows from somebody. I think it was like 40 bows for like $10. So I turned around and I ordered a couple of bows, and I kind of got the feel on how they looked. I don't have any with me, but like I was looking at the way that they were made. I took one apart and I put it back together, and then I went and bought some ribbon. I found them like on clearance for like $1.50. Sometimes you can find ribbon on clearance. And so what I did was I started just making hot glue gun and a little clip, which the clips they sell at Hobby Lobby, Michael's, or Walmart, and you can get those for like maybe $2. A few of them for $2 depending on what size. Or you can even go to the dollar store if you're working with the baby bows. You can buy the ones that like fold and they clip into the hair really easily, don't pull at all. So I did a few of those. I did a few big ones for her, and I also even did like the headbands and then a big bow on it. I did that before as well. So I did a few of the little headbands with the big bow on it. Because some of the bows that I didn't like the color or something, so I kind of switched up as little bit as I could. Okay, my drive was, at that point, was my daughter, was making sure she was fashionable. Everything matched. She always wore a dress and it looked like sunflowers, so I would get a big old sunflower bow and put it in her hair, so she was constantly always wearing a bow that matched the way what she wore that day. My motivation to push this far in this business and actually creating my business was my kids and my husband. My first machine that was bought, my husband bought it for me for, I think it was my birthday or our anniversary. I really don't know, but it was my first machine. I do work with the Cricut. I do not have anything on how to use a silhouette cameo. Mine is all Cricut. I learned a lot of stuff by YouTube, and that was my motivation to keep going. He did buy it, and honestly, starting off, it was hard. I didn't know where to start. I did a little bit here and there. So what I did was I bought a couple of shirts, and I was like, hey, anybody want a shirt? I'll lower the price, because I was barely starting. So $10 a shirt, $15 a shirt. I mean, cheap, because I obviously had to buy product and still waste my time in doing it, but it wasn't as expensive. I didn't charge a lot because I was barely starting off. So I did have like a couple of orders here and there. So that was my first machine. He bought me a Cricut Express Air. I still have it, actually. I use it every now and then. I do have that machine. And I started off by, practicing on t-shirts. And I didn't have a heat press. I didn't have a Cricut Easy Press. I literally started off with iron. And what I did was I had everything set up on my kitchen table, and as soon as I was done, I would put it back up. So I would have my laptop, my Cricut, and an iron. So I would do one shirt at a time, literally one shirt at a time, because I didn't know how to do multiple shirts at that time. So one shirt at a time. I would cut everything out, everything on the laptop, and literally my texts were like, now I can put it together and I know how to work it. Before, they were, every letter was spelled out, like spread out one by one, like with a gap. So it took me a while to learn everything. Okay, so I started off with the iron. I had an iron until probably about sometimes last year. Actually, my dad and his girlfriend at the time bought me my first heat press, and I was very excited. I didn't know how to use that either, so I had to read on that, YouTube videos, and it helps a lot. It really does, because it's way hotter than the iron, and you don't have, like with the iron, you have to literally put your back into it, and with the heat press, you don't. You just put the numbers in there and press it, and you'll figure it out. It's not hard. Put as much pressure on it as you can. So the iron was difficult, and at one point it was to where I was doing it on my kitchen table, and then we moved, so I had to do it on the floor. That was horrible. I had orders. I think my first big order was like 60 shirts, and I did those with that iron on the floor, and they still came out great, but it takes a lot with just that iron when you don't have all your stuff. Well, so I got the heat press. Then for Christmas, my husband actually ordered me the Cricut Explorer Air 2. So I have that as well. I use both of them. So my biggest motivation with my business has been my husband. Him and my dad has, believed in me throughout the way. My kids, every time I make a shirt, they're like, I want to see it. I want to see it. So that is something. I do have 3 kids. I have a boy. My oldest is a boy. He's 8. I have my daughter. She is 5. And my youngest is 3, and he's a boy. So I have my hands full. I also work from home. So everything I do is at home. It's not, anywhere else. Everything's here. I market from home. I have my business cards. I made them. And I have everything on my cell phone, or everything's through my cell phone, really. And so what I did was I did everything through my phone for a while. Obviously I have my laptop, but marketing, everything has been from my phone. So my biggest motivation is them. When my kids get happy when I make something, they want to see it. Like, what is that? What are you doing? Who's that with you? Or who are you making that for? Is that mine? The smile on their face that they give me once I make something and they get to see it, they're excited. So it makes me excited. Or even when I give, my customers or my supporters, whatever you want to call them, when I give them their shirts and they're just like, oh my God, it's what I wanted. Oh my God. And that, it makes you want to do more. It always makes you want to do more when you see somebody else happy, especially from what you can do and you can make somebody else happy. The reason behind everything has been my daughter. She, again, I couldn't spend all this money on bows. I'd rather just make them how I want them. At first, I do not do bows anymore. My drive now is the shirts, because not only can my daughter be happy with the shirt I make her, but so can my boys and anybody else in my family. I also make like gifts for them. Instead of going out Christmas shopping, I'm gonna make them something. So that has saved a lot. My biggest drive and motivation has been my family. But not only that, I've tried to always keep God in my life, whether it was praying about my business, giving money from my business to pay my tithes, or whatever. I try to help when pull it out of my business money to show I'm grateful for everything I have, and for me being able to do this and still be at home with my kids. Now, the biggest thing I wanted to talk about was my name for my business. My logo is, the name of the business is called C&C Creations. Okay, all my kids' names begin with the C, for one. Mine does too. My only one who doesn't is my husband's. And C&C Creation stands for Celeste and Crystal, which Celeste is a C, So that's the first C. The second one is me, is my name, Crystal, and creations, because we created everything. We started off again with bows and me just trying to make her happy and make her style, fashionable and match with the bows along with her clothes. And that's where the name came from. CNC Creations has came from mine and her name putting together, and seeing the joy when I'm working on the laptop just trying to design something and her sitting beside me and just like, oh, I like that, is that mine? That pushes me to look at my business in a whole different scenario. I do shirts, I do cups, I do different things. It's not just t-shirts. You can do a lot with the Cricut. You can do so much, and honestly, this is my first video I'm making, but I am going to start showing more. I know there's plenty of other videos out there, but if you're watching this and you decide to follow me, I appreciate it. You don't know how much it means for people to support a small business and what you help with. I don't own a big shop. I work from home, so I can take care of my 3 kids during summer break. I have a 3-year-old that he does not go to school this coming up school year, so he stays home with me. I do not trust anybody with my kids, so daycare is out of the question. And so you do help and support. When you buy from a small business, you do help and support not only me and my kids, you give us that extra. So with you supporting us is a great big blessing in our eyes, and I appreciate any support that we get, whether it's just sharing a post on our Facebook page, sharing this is my first video I'm going to post, so sharing this, or just speaking to another friend, hey, I seen this shirt, I really like it, let's go hit her up. I would really appreciate just word of mouth references. It's a great blessing, and I do appreciate it, and I'm pretty sure my kids do too. So that is all for this video. I hope you like, subscribe, and keep an eye out for more videos, and go follow our page on Facebook. It is actually called, I don't think it's here. We're called CNC Creations on Facebook. This is just a little bit of our stuff right here. I'm not gonna put my phone number on here, but this is some work I do. These are the cups, my logo, and then this is stuff we do. So we personalize t-shirts. I make tutus, but they're not like some other people. Like I said, I been doing this for quite some time, but I mainly t-shirts and stuff. The tutus are just maybe a birthday party or something to play with. I do cutting boards, so personalized cutting boards. I could put a decal on Tumblr, car decals, hats and hoodies, and we do beer mugs. And next video I'll show you some more of our products and I'll actually show you what I've done. This one was just a starter, just to try to see if there's other people out there that are just trying to make a living, and just trying to see what type of machine you can use. I heard a lot of good stuff about the Cameo. I don't have one. I am using the Cricut. My heat press is it's not even a Cricut heat press, it's just a regular heat press. You do start from the bottom. Okay, you start from the bottom. You can be working on your kitchen table, on the floor, just making something. It's a great way of income. You do have to get up and push some days, especially with you being at home. You have other things to do. It is hard some days. You don't want to do it. And I heard a lot of stuff about I guess that's everything, really. I mean, if you have a regular job, you don't want to go every day. So, being at home is just, there's so much to do, whether it's laundry, cooking, cleaning, running around after the kids, or making shirts, cups, something. You always can make time until we run out of time. But with that being said, thank you all. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And I hope to see y'all next time. Stay tuned. Bye.